everyone. Thank you for joining us at World of Pets podcast. We love having you here on a weekly basis. And we want our pets to live as long as possible, but we want that to be a good quality life. So to that end, we on this podcast explore all things about pets and animals so that we can have them around for a long time, but they are living a quality life. So again, thank you for joining us. Take it away, hosts.
Welcome back to World of Pets podcast. Tonight we have Val coming in, and she's a community builder that likes to help shelter dogs. And we've got some stories to talk about because she's been in El Paso, Texas, Austin, Texas, but now she lives in Tucson. And we're going to talk about space at the end of the show. So, Val, let's get started. So, you're talking about volunteering, and how important is that for pet podcasts?
Well, the reason why volunteering is so important, like for example, I want to give you a story about this man that I know. His name is Robert Kessler, and he owns an organization called Canine Friends Foundation. And the reason why volunteering is important is because he's a one-man show. He has 7 acres over here by Casino del Sol, and right now he's hosting 13 dogs. But what he does, not only does he rescue dogs, but he trains dogs that come from really bad situation to be adoptable.
Oh, okay.
So the help is imperative. Like you don't need money, you don't need a big huge company, you don't need a big huge check. You just need to show up a couple of hours to clean up, to do whatever he asks.
Well, that's very interesting because most shelters don't actually spend the time to train the dogs except to go potty outside, which is kind of important. But do they have a program into service dogs or mental
No, he
support?
just trains them. Yeah, he just trains them to be adoptable so that they can actually be a happy little dog. You know what I mean? Like there's certain dogs that he has gotten that he said that they're never gonna be adoptable because they were like in fighting rings and stuff like that. But there's other ones that he actually breaks them out of that trauma that they came in. And he teaches them to sit, to go outside, to do different kind of tricks and everything, just to make the dog more adoptable.
That's very good. That's very good. So when it comes, what's the difference between, I would say, well, not the difference between. Let me backtrack on that one. So when you're volunteering to help these people, how what would that look like? Was that like something you can do on the weekends, something you can do on the
Yes. So,
weekdays?
like for example, if you go to a shelter, you could just go to the shelter and ask if you could be a volunteer. And then they will tell you when, and you can just tell them, this is when I'm available, and they will take the help. It doesn't matter. So for example, with Robert, like usually the weekends are better for him. So you just I mean, I can hook you up with him, but you just reach out to him and ask him when and where he needs help and just show up. It's just about showing up, really.
Right. No, I got you there. I mean, it's hard to get people to show up for work, let alone volunteering.
You know
But
what? There's a lot of crazy people like me though. Like we just we just have energy for days and like, well, one more thing, why not?
right, yeah. Oh, that's for real. So on fostering, how do you get involved in fostering? That's what I want to know.
Getting involved in fostering is the same as everything. Like for example, the one that I had that I always recommend a lot is Adopt a Pet because it's an online adopting service, and there you can actually choose to foster, and it makes the process really easy. And I love it because Adopt a Pet has all the local shelters in your city. So all you have to do is just choose the city and then choose that you want to foster, and then they'll let you know of all the dogs that are ready for foster. So
Okay.
it's really, really simple. All you have to do, and then you don't have to worry about vet bills or anything. Some of them even cover the food.
Wow,
You know
that's
what I mean?
crazy. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask is, and how much do they cover through that service? Vet bills are super expensive, knowing,
Well,
having
as
had
far
three
as
dogs.
yeah, as far as the vet bills, they're completely covered. And
Wow.
even if you have to travel, they will foster the dog while you're out traveling.
No way.
Yes. So
Wow.
it is a very simple process for the foster parent, because sometimes there's dogs, like for example, German shepherds, the Malinois, or even the huskies. They don't do well in the shelters.
Right.
They're too intelligent to be in there, and all the noise and everything like them makes them unadoptable,
Yeah,
and
it
that's
makes
how
them
they end up
nervous.
like euthanizing them first. So if they can be in fosters, those dogs are really good. They'd rather be in a cage at home somewhere than in a noisy shelter.
Sure. Well, that makes sense to me. I mean, just based on my experience with, I've only owned dachshunds, so, but that actually makes very good sense because, you get a Malinois or a shepherd puppy that's not fully trained yet. They are a handful. And but they do love the people that they interact with 100%, and they're very good dogs. They're very smart, and they take a lot of training, extra training actually, by the way.
Yeah. They need
What
a
do you
person like me. They really need a person like me. Like I go with my dogs and I walk 5 miles with them and stuff like that. We leave at 2 in the morning to go walk. So yeah, shepherds need somebody like me.
Well, it's not like you can walk at 12 in the afternoon in
I know, especially not
Arizona.
in Tucson. Especially not in Tucson. Well,
Yeah,
right now you can.
you have to be on opposite schedule in Tucson for sure. And because like Colorado Springs, like I just had to go and take off my sweater and everything else right before the sun's going down. It was too hot. I had to be in a tank top and shorts, but that's that time of year. So that's
Yeah.
also another thing that we could probably address too, since you live in Tucson. The difference between Colorado and Tucson is very dramatic. You've mostly lived in Texas and down south and all that, where it is hot. It's somewhat humid at points. What are your experiences, and how do you actually um, get a dog in a routine that you can get into as well?
Well, it's all about carving out time, because dogs, one thing that I've learned about dogs is that all they need is 5 minutes of your time. 5 minutes. If you have 5 minutes to go walk them even in the front of the house back and forth twice and come back in, those dogs will be so grateful and so happy because they spent time with you and you gave them love just by a tiny little walk. And then after that, you could like expand it a little bit more and a little bit more until you get used to it, until it just adjusts to your schedule. Because honestly, like when it comes to exercise, I was a person that hated exercise, but then when I knew I had to walk with these dogs and I started walking with them a lot, now I can't be without it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it
Yeah.
grows into you. So these dogs are like, not only do they give me all the happiness, they're like my nap buddies, but they're also
Hmm.
my trainers because they trained me to run. I could never even run. Now I run, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. Um, so we'll go back to let's talk about the adoption process. You go online, you find a company that you want to go through, all that stuff, and they've probably got a picture of a dog, maybe a video of a dog. Where do you have to start from there? Are there any specific qualifications?
Well, yes, because when you're adopting a dog, it depends on the shelter, but there are shelters that are very protective of their dog. So you're gonna go through a whole they vet you. They vet you and they make sure that you're not gonna end up returning the dog because it traumatizes the dog even more. They make sure that every single person in that household wants the dog and agrees to having the dog, even if
Okay.
they're not going to be in charge of the dog, because sometimes that's what causes problems. One of the people living in the house don't get along with the dog and then the dog gets returned. So
Good.
they ask a lot of questions, almost like adopting a kid. Honestly, they ask plenty of questions. They make sure that the home is stable. If you have pets, they make you make an introduction just to make sure that it's a good match. And that's it. And what I recommend, honestly, is to foster a dog to be able to adopt, because that way he's not really your responsibility, but you get to know him. You know what I mean? You get to know him, the dog get
Mm.
used to you, and you could fall in love with it in the process. And then when you're ready and you're like, okay, well, this is my dog. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you go and adopt a dog, and it takes them about 3 months for them to decompress. And then the real personality comes out, you
Okay.
know? And when it's fostered, you don't feel the pressure that it's yours and you have to keep it forever. And you could just return it and no harm done. So
Right.
you could foster it for the 3 months that they're decompressing, get to know the dog, everything like that, and then just move smoothly into the adoption.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So, what? So, like, even like flip flopping that when you go into um, the fostering process and you're trying to get them to know everybody that's going to be in the household, does that happen on site or does that happen at the kennel, if you will?
It depends on the agreement that they make. For me, it's always important for me to meet, for my dogs and the new dog to meet at a location where it's not territory to anybody, like a park or something where it belongs to nobody.
Yeah,
Because you
something
want to make
neutral.
sure that, yeah, you want to make sure that they don't feel like, oh, this is my space. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You just want to give them like a clean slate. This is just another dog, dude.
Right, right.
And that's recommended, but it depends on the shelter. Like, each shelter is gonna have their own rules and everything like that. But through adopt a pet, it's like, I think adopt a pet is mainly fosters that have dogs. I mean, there is some shelters, but mostly it's fosters. So a lot of the foster moms want to meet you somewhere.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I had, I got both of my first two dogs as puppies, and it was definitely important for them to get to know each other. And then they gave me a litter of one. So that was a wonderful experience. That was a long process, and it's certainly rewarding to have
It
pets
is.
that are healthy.
It is.
Um, so in the adoption process, um, when you get to the point that you're ready, you're done fostering, what does that look like going into the full adoption and saying, "This is my dog. This is my life
Super
with it."
easy. You just contact the shelter that you made, you have the agreement with, and you tell me, you know what, I want to go ahead and adopt the dog. And those are easy adoptions. Those just go so much more smoothly. There's not all the paperwork, because you've already done the paperwork when you did the fostering. So it just goes a lot smoother. And then they already obviously know that the dog is happy with you, you're happy with the dog. You know what I mean? So it guarantees more of a happy ending
Sure.
and not a return.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Well, tell me about, yeah, we spoke before the show. You wanted to speak about your lost dogs. So we'll just expand on that.
Okay, well, Suki is really close to my heart. I call her my sister
Hmm.
because she used to be my dad's dog, and my dad passed away. Um, he passed away, and the I feel like we both lost our dad. You know,
Hmm.
they lived together by themselves. It was just him and her, and she was his world. He had her everywhere. He was in his 80s, and he took her with her everywhere. Super fit guy too, so they would run a lot. But anyway, when he passed away, the day, or like the time frame that he passed away, he collapsed, and they were taking him to the hospital, and that's the last thing she saw from him.
Oh,
She
man.
just saw him collapsing and then taken away. You know what I mean? And he never came back.
Oh.
We lost him. And I felt like it was so heartbreaking. And my sister was the one dealing with all the accommodations, because he was in Juarez and my sister was in El Paso. My
Hmm.
family's still there in El Paso. So he was in Juarez, Mexico. And she was the one handling everything. And she already had like a full house of dogs and cats and cows and whatever else she has. And she's like, do you think you could take Suki? I'm like, not even a question. I'm like, no, yes, definitely give her to me.
Yeah.
And she was so scared and she had no idea what was going on. Like she got extracted from her home,
Right.
never saw dad again. Came into the situation. I had my little pumpkin. My pumpkin was a pit bull and Chihuahua mix.
Hmm.
But anyway, they took to each other, and Pumpkin took her under her wing and taught her everything, and they were great together because Pumpkin had lost my dog Rosita like a few months before,
Okay.
and she was grieving her, and she was really sad. So then when Suki came in, and then Pumpkin, they were together perfect, and we're worried because Suki's only like 5 pounds. And Pumpkin, well, I mean, even though she was crossed with a Chihuahua, she was pretty big. And like people are like,
Mhm.
yeah, they were like best friends.
What do you
But
think was the most important thing you could take away from that, by the way?
well, I feel like we became a family where we fixed each other's grief.
Mm.
We filled that hole. Pumpkin got her hole filled with Suki. Suki filled my hole because I lost my dad. And Suki got a whole new family. I felt like she was there to save me, and to
Mm.
help me through these hard times. And she went, it's just so wonderful. Like I get chills just talking about this because she's taught me so much, like the strength that little puppy had, after experiencing that. I feel
Yeah.
like it's traumatic, just seeing him go and not know.
Well, it's traumatic for anybody.
Yeah.
I've lost several in an instant. Not dogs, but people.
Yeah. It's
And so, but that's, well, also my dog. But he was a he picked a fight with a big dog, got his jaw broke. But I mean, sometimes you got to say goodbye when it's done. But
yeah.
okay, let's change the things that we're talking about right
Pumpkin.
now. For the very first time on World of Pets podcast, we're going to talk about space.
Nice.
Tell me about it. So you got it's Paws from Heaven Express
Yeah. So it's Possum
launching
Heaven. Yeah.
launching May 5th. Launching May
Well,
5th.
it's a test. It's a test launch. So on May 5th, my husband owns a company that he decided to start. It's called Possum Heaven Express. And the point of it was when Pumpkin passed away, Pumpkin belonged to my son. And we were devastated. That dog just changed our life.
Mm.
And we were devastated because she was old and she was sick, and that was it. She was just done. She was like 15 years old. So we were so sad. And my husband, he's our savior. Like he does everything for us. He only wants to see us happy. So he has us all spoiled, and he had no idea what to do to make it better because we were all like mopey and sad about
Mm.
Pumpkin. So he's like, what do you guys think if I were to build a rocket and I could launch Pumpkin's ashes into space? And then all the other dead dogs can have a place in the rocket. Like Max will be the motor, Bandida would be the all the other parts, and Rosita will be the nose cone and stuff like that, and we could all launch them to heaven. And it put a smile on our face, you know. It automatically put a smile on our face, and we're like, yes, do it. So when he started talking to people about it, right, he was just doing it for us. We have a list of people that want to launch their dog's ashes into space. And there was this man, because like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, so I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs. One of the entrepreneurs is my friend. He's like, hey, I want to invest. I want to be part of this. This is a great idea.
That is a great idea.
And that's how it started.
Well, that's so cool. Like, what does that look like from a beginning standpoint? I know you got to network. I know you got to raise funds and all that stuff. But in the end, what is your end goal for that?
Like the rocket.
The rocket, the process, honestly.
Okay, so there's so many parts. There's so many moving parts about it. So first, because he's building it from like from scratch, like everything. Like what he does, we actually go to the desert and we collect aluminum cans, and he is gonna be making parts of the rocket with that aluminum.
Okay.
So he's building everything from scratch. You know what I mean? Like so I feel like one, it helps the environment because we're cleaning it out. Two, it gets the community involved because we're offering, it's like for everybody who donates money or cans, their business name can go on the rocket. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
there you go.
I feel like it's a community thing. Like I tell you, like I bring people together. I
Right.
love it. I like doing events. I like doing all these kinds of things. So I'm a hyper. I like to hype up everything. Like, let's do it. You know what I mean? So I like to bring people. So then people just start donating and stuff. And I feel like the more people get involved in one thing, the more things get done faster, quicker, and bigger.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can't argue with anything you just said. So tell us about how far along you are in the development of this, and
Well, it's at the
what to
beginning.
look forward to.
Yeah, it's at the beginning state. Is right now it's at the well, he has some parts. I wish I could hold on, let me bring the computer over here so you could see if you could see it, because there is like the back wing. Let's see if you could see it. Let me take off the back thing. Give me a second. Just don't get scared with the mess.
Take your time.
See, there's the back wing. Do you see it?
Oh, wow. So those are big.
There's the back wing. Well, there's the back wing. This is his working station. See, this is part of the engine
Okay.
right here. So it should be ready by May 5th, like a little mock up, not like the whole thing, like the whole. Oh, here the other wings. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, sorry. Where did I leave you?
No, you're right here.
Hold on. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. There are the wings right here, but I don't think you'll be able to catch how they actually look.
No, I can get a mental design in my head. My dad was an engineer working on space stuff.
Yeah,
So.
so he's building everything from scratch. Like this, it's like foam core.
Right.
See?
Okay.
And then he fills it up with this foam to give it stability.
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. We are rocket builders, and we always go and launch rockets. We are part of the Southern Arizona Rocketry Association.
Oh.
And it is so much fun. It's like
Hey, I did model rockets starting at the Boy Scouts and beyond that too. So I get it. That's a lot of fun. Man, I can't wait. We're probably gonna have him on one day too. Have
yeah,
the both of you guys on and talk about this coming up to May 5th sometime, I think. And that's wonderful.
that would be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this out real quick.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna say thank you all for stopping in. Val, you've been a wonderful guest. We definitely will have you back. You're so much fun and so joyful. And so, with that, we're going to close out. Go to debspets.com. That's DEBSPETS.com to support this channel. We're in the process of having t shirts made. And if you support our channel, we might just send you one. So, you guys have a
Ooh,
blessed
I want
day.
one.
You'll probably get one. I might just arrange for that. I'm in the process. We just talked about it today, and it's my
I will.
brother-in-law's business. So
You know what I'm gonna do? Just because you guys had me on the podcast, I'll go ahead and record the pre-launch, and then send it to you.
yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. I can't wait. And then if that goes semi well or badly, we'll still come on, have you guys on and talk
If it
about
goes
it.
Tato, I'm sorry. Try again.
Anyways, You have a good night, Val. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Have a blessed night.
You too.
Thank you. I'm glad that you joined us for At World of Pets podcast. We would like for you to take a look at what our sponsors have to offer, and that sponsor is debspets.com. You can access it through the QR code, or you can just go to the website. So thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again next week.